Hey everybody, how are you on this awesome day? Today, as usual, I'm very excited because today we're going to be showing you this awesome free app from Google Snapseed, and you're going to be seeing it on your screen if you're not seeing it right now very soon. Now, the cool thing about this app is that it's completely free and anybody can download it. Plus, you can adjust it on your phone. So it's a mobile app. You can use it both in iOS as well as in Android. Guys, I forgot to put on my mic, so I'm just putting on my tiny mic so you guys can hear me better. So iOS and Android. Both. I particularly use Android. I was an iOS user, an iPhone user for many years, and around 8 months ago I swapped to Android. I'm super happy with the camera. They both have awesome cameras, so whichever makes you more comfortable is the cell phone and camera for you. So yesterday we did have a live tutorial doing the same photo. Thank you, Marta Mendez, for sending over this awesome photo. It is of two amazing, joyful kids in a fall scene. However, she did mention in her photo and in her email that when she took the photo, all of the trees had much more vibrance. They were much more saturated. The fall colors, the yellows, the reds were more visible while they were there, rather than in the photo, everything came out gray. So we're going to help her out. It is a JPEG. Many of us use JPEGs. This is our reality. If you've seen one of my past tutorials, I always recommend taking photos in RAW, but that is for photographers that have cameras that have the capability of taking RAW. Thanks, Mom, for this tip. Samsung does have RAW. I have to check if iPhone does as well and test out the RAW capacity of the Samsung on a different tutorial. Right now, this one is in JPEG. It's pretty small. The size is around the size is about 1024 by 700 pixels, so it's pretty small. But it's perfect because it's a real life photo that any of us have in our cell phone right now. So if you want to go, just download the app Snapseed. This, I have no partnership or sponsorship with Snapseed, with Google, with Adobe, with anybody. This is just me, a regular Joe or Mary. Actually, my name is Giselle Behrens, and these are just my tips and tricks that I've used throughout the years to help you get better photos in a quick way. So this is what we did yesterday. Yesterday we did have the same photo and we adjusted it on Lightroom. I mentioned that Lightroom costs $10 monthly, so if you go ahead and can access the $10 monthly, awesome for you, and you're taking photography to a next level. That's great. And we're going to have many tutorials on Lightroom from scratch all the way to advanced. Now, for everybody else that is looking for a free solution, for a quicker solution, and an easier solution that you can do on your cell phone, there are many apps, but this one in particular is the one that I most use to adjust, other than Lightroom, my photos directly on my cell phone. It's called Snapseed, and it's provided by Google. So thank you, Google, for helping us take and make better photos. So right here, you guys can always remember to subscribe to this channel if you appreciate the tutorial. There's so much content, so many tips and tricks to make your photos better coming up. If you guys just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, you're helping me and helping you guys so I can give these tutorials for free, as well as like the video. So let's start. Over here I have, this is me live, and this is me with my cell phone. You guys can see me right here. This is my cell phone, and this is the one that I'm going to be adjusting right now. So I'm just going to tap anywhere, and I'm going to select my image. Again, thank you, Marta, for this image. It's so nice. It's so sweet. It's a typical image that we have when we go on an awesome trip to the mountains. And the first thing that I want you to see is this layout. So in the layout, it's pretty straightforward. you guys have the, over here, you have your main working space, and over here you have all these filters that are already automatically created for you. So let's check out those filters first and see how they're going to affect our image. These first ones make them very, very dark, and we're looking for a very poppy feeling, for a nice and light colored atmosphere. That was the one that she was mentioning. And voila. I'm pretty sure that with one click, this photo looks really, really cool in the morning filter. So if you did want a really, really quick solution to making this photo look like this, you guys have this amazing filter that it's called Morning on the Snapseed app. Now, because we do want to start from scratch and I can show you guys the basics, I'm just going to go back to current, select the check mark, and now I'm going to go to my tools options over here. We're going to start with our basic adjustments. So basic adjustments and general adjustments, these are going to be ones that are very easy to do, and we're going to start with our tune image. So if you go ahead and click tune image, you have to leave your finger pressed on the screen, and when you do and you drag it up and down, you're going to have this very intuitive menu pop up. So it's super easy to use. If I release my finger and I'm using my thumb, my right thumb in this case, if I do release my finger, then the menu is going to completely disappear. So what I do want to do is just leave my finger pressed, make that little menu pop up, and you're going to have brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, highlights, shadows, and warmth. And you can scroll through them by just dragging and pressing your finger up and down the screen. So we're going to start with the top and work our way to the bottom. So our brightness, we're just going to drag it, and over here you can see the adjustments that you guys are doing on this. Okay. Well, a little pop-up came up there, but it's fine, you guys can still see it. There. So we're going to just drag your finger, but this way I want you to drag your finger that way and that way, okay? So horizontally. We're not going to be dragging it vertically, because vertically is going to pop up our menu. So I'm going to go lower, and you can see over here your brightness on the top, what the brightness is looking like. And I'm going to go to around, I think around 58 is good for me. So I'm going to work my way down, and now I'm in contrast. And I'm going to augment my contrast. Again, you can see that bar on the top and where it's going over here. It's going to be filled up with blue, and you can see your numbers over here. So you can have control over the adjustments that you're doing. So I'm just going to continue dragging it to the right. To the right makes it positive, and to the left makes it negative. So I want a positive contrast right now, and I think that I'm going to leave it at around 40 in contrast. So it's starting to look good. You can toggle your before and after anytime with this little icon on the upper right corner. Okay? So if you do go ahead and press that, you're going to see how your image pops up as the before and as the after. So if I'm comparing it, I do like the deep blacks and the deep shadows of the original, and I do like how I'm more open up as well on the information on the adjusted one. So we're going to continue our way down. We're going to augment our saturation. Because we did augment the brightness, the saturation went slightly lower. So I'm just going to drag my saturation always to the right, because that's going to, that's going to augment it. Rather than if you drag it to the left, you're going to diminish the saturation. And I think around here, I'm happy. You can start seeing how these trees over here are starting to pop up, as well as the kids outfit, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to work my way down. I'm just going to skip ambience. You guys can go ahead and play with it. Highlights as well. I want to go to shadows. So again, right now I'm in shadows, and as I mentioned, I feel that I lost some richness to the image when I did the exposure adjustment and the brightness, but I did want the image to be brighter because I want it to be lighter, happier, more joyful like the kids are. So I'm going to do a negative shadow, which basically means that I'm going to drag my finger to the left. This is going to give me negative shadows, and that's going to make my shadows darker. If you want to open up your shadows and make the image lighter, you're going to go to the right. I'm going to show you right now. So to make my shadows darker, I'm going to drag my thumb to the left, as I mentioned. You can see that bar on the top is filling up, and if you drag it to the right, you're going to see how it starts opening the image. Right now I want to add deep shadows to make the image pop out and the colors more vibrant. So I think I'm going to leave this around here. And now that I'm done with my adjustments, I'm going to double check. So we did brightness, contrast, saturation, we skipped ambience and highlights, we did shadows. I'm going to add a little bit of warmth. So to add warmth, I'm going to drag my finger to the right. Warmth is going to give you just what it says, warmth. But it is a yellow tint that it adds. So blue gives it coolness and yellow gives it warmth. We are looking for a warm, fuzzy feeling, right? I mean, look at this face. Look at this face. Isn't it the cutest face you've ever seen? If we go, look at this one. These are so cute. Thank you, Marta, for these. So if we do go to the right, it goes cool. If you go to the left, it goes warm. And I think around here, I'm going to leave it in around 15, 17. That's good. So now that we're done with our general adjustments, we're going to go ahead, click that check mark, go back to tools over here, and we're going to jump to details. So details is going to help us give some some sharpness to the image, because we do want these trees on the background to become sharper. So we can slightly zoom in, and again, you're going to make your menu pop out just by dragging your finger up and down. We're going to add some structure and some sharpening. So structure is going to give it some additional sharpening. Sharpening is going to give you sharper details, and structure is going to give you sharper edges, okay? So we're going to do both. You can start seeing how these trees really in the background start popping out and becoming crisper. Again, let's toggle our before and after because we always want to see where we started. You can see that it's fuzzy and now it's sharper. Fuzzy, sharper, just by doing that adjustment. So I'm going to jump now to sharpening. And you can see how every tree starts getting individually sharp over here. Don't blink and take a look at that. I'm going to do the before and after. You can see how it becomes from soft and fuzzy to sharp and crisp. So now that I'm happy with this adjustment, I'm going to zoom out just by pinching it, and I'm going to check my check mark over here, and I'm going to continue with my adjustments. So as of now, if you're happy with the colors, you can leave it right there. If you do want to go a step further, you can do a selective adjustment, which is basically what we just did, only in a selective area that we're going to choose. Okay, guys? So we're going to go ahead and select selective, and you're going to have this little plus sign on the bottom come up. You're going to want to tap on that plus sign, and this is going to give us the ability to add. You want it to be blue. You want it to be blue. I grayed it out. So if you gray it out, you won't have the ability to add a new selective area. If it's blue, you can go ahead and just select it. I'm going to select particularly her face because I want to lighten up this area over here. And you can see that now I can do this adjustment. If you pinch, you're going to see in red a mask. That is the area in the image that is being affected by the adjustments that you're doing right now. And again, this is a little bit more advanced, so if you're happy with the general adjustments, you can just leave it over there, and it's a super powerful tool. If you want to go ahead and do one more step, this is the additional step, and afterwards a bonus surprise. But for now, I want to keep my brightness in this area. If you want to preview it, you're going to go ahead and click on this eye icon on the bottom, and that's going to hide the little bee while you still have it active. And that way you can adjust and take a look at how it's looking. You can do the before and after, and you can see how this area starts brightening up. And I think I'm happy around there. If you do want to adjust, you can drag up and down your thumb, and you're going to be able to pop up the menu, and you're going to be able to adjust structure, saturation, contrast, and brightness. We only did brightness in this case. We can do one more, and I want you to go ahead and press on the plus sign just to create a new additional area to adjust. And this time we're going to, it popped up right here on the screen, and this time we're going to adjust the saturation. So we're going to drag our finger to saturation and then drag our finger to the right, and you're going to see how the trees are going to start popping out. And again, if you want to see the area where it's being affected, just pinch on it. If you have your both fingers on your screen, you're going to be able to see a red mask, and that red mask is the area that you're adjusting in your photo. So now that I'm happy with my selective adjustments, I'm going to hit my check mark. I'm going to check out my before and after, and you can do that just by pressing your thumb on the screen, leaving it pressed, and it's going to toggle your before and after. I mean, look at that. Isn't it amazing? Day to night, this photo, right? I mean, the kids become alive, the ambience become alive, the trees are just ready to give that burst of colors. And there's one more bonus surprise that I have for you guys, for the more advanced users and the people that want to continue enhancing their photo just one more step for that extra punch, which I particularly love because that's what's going to make your photo stand out from the rest. So I want you to go to Tools, and we're going to select Brush. So when you select Brush, you're going to have all of these tools which look very advanced and fancy, right? We're going to go to our temperature one, and for you guys that already know them, that's awesome for you. You're welcome to give us some tips and tricks as well. This is for people that really are looking to how to improve their photos with a punch from their cell phone just really, really quickly. And we're going to select our temperature. Our temperature is going to give us over here how much temperature you're going to be adjusting, positive or negative. Remember that positive, you're going to be adding warmth. So we want to add some warmth on this area because I feel that it's completely blued out, it's completely cool, and it doesn't make sense with this part of the image. So I'm going to just brush on that area. I'm going to go and just do 5 temperature first, and with my finger I'm just going to add some temperature over here, and you can start seeing how this area starts becoming warmer and more yellow, and it starts balancing out with this part of the image over here. Now this mountain is more cohesive, it makes more sense. I'm going to toggle my before and after. This is my before warmth, and this is my after warmth, and again, I just painted over this area. If you toggle your little eyeball over here on the bottom, this icon, you're going to be seeing where I painted it on, and that's exactly where I painted it on. I'm going to turn it off, hit that check mark, and people were done. Let's check our before and after. I absolutely love how this photo became alive. You can do this in a few minutes. It takes probably like 3 to 4 minutes to fix this photo, even less if you do find some familiarity with the app and start practicing. And I wanted to show you guys how it compares to the Lightroom, adjustment. So on your screen, I put all the way on the left hand the original photo. The center middle one is the Snapseed adjustment, and the far right is the Lightroom adjustment we did yesterday on our tutorial. If you do want to check out the live Lightroom tutorial, please do take a look in the videos, it's right there. I want to point out one difference. These two photos look very much similar, both the Snapseed photo as well as the Lightroom photo, but you can see, if you take your attention to the Lightroom scene, you can see how the trees are actually redder. They are more red. So this is because we did do a mask in a mask. For those advanced users that want to play around with Lightroom, I invite you to see that tutorial, because we did a mask in a mask, and that's how we managed to get those beautiful reds pop out. Snapseed, it gives us an amazing photo. It doesn't give us as much red as that Lightroom because that's really fine-tuning. But I feel that Snapseed gave us a really good photo as well. Lightroom gave us an awesome photo as well. What do you think? Comment below. If you do think that this tutorial was helpful, please do go ahead, like that video. Remember to subscribe, because there's many more tutorials coming up on how to make your photos better. I am Giselle Behrens. This is Photo TV, live every day, 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Bye guys! Have a great photographic day.